Welcome to the encounter on Khalid Malik's Morning Jam. Joining us, a very special guest who's been working in the oil and energy industry for about 15 years now. Skilled in operations management, strategic planning, business strategy and leadership, with a strong business development professional background, a bachelor's degree in computer science from Fast National University of Computer and Emerging Sciences. Joining us this morning, CEO and Managing Director, Master Oil, Mr. Tabish Javed. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Wa alaikum salam. Hello and good morning to you, Khalid, as well as all the listeners as well.
पहला सवाल अक्सर होता है कि जब कोई बैंकर दोस्त मिल जाता है या कोई फलां दोस्त मिल जाता है किसी खास इंडस्ट्री से, तो ताल्लुक हो या ना हो, सवाल जरूर पूछा जाता है। खास जो बैंकर वाले हैं उनसे, यार रेट क्या है आजकल, या ये क्या हो रहा है। तो आपसे भी शायद आपके दोस्त भी ये पूछते होंगे, सर पेट्रोल की कीमत गिरेगी?
पेट्रोल की कीमत गिरनी चाहिए, अच्छा। लेकिन आई डोंट थिंक के नियर फ्यूचर में गिरेगी। नियर फ्यूचर में जो स्पेकुलेशन है दैट इट विल गो अराउंड 300 if the things go the way they are right now, unless कोई drastic changes हो जाएं and inward dollar आपका जो है वो reserve increase हो, जो speculated है कि आपके जो friendly countries हैं उनकी भी एक $9 billion की एक inward movement की आवाज़ है, and then the IMF tranche also, but too many variables,
right,
and too many different scenarios to deal with. But अगर इसी तरह ही है जिस तरह ये चल रहा है तो ये it is bound to increase, क्योंकि IMF की जो deals हैं उसके अंदर उन्होंने जो unfunded subsidies हैं उनको उन पे focus किया हुआ है, जो tax rebates हमने दिए हुए हैं और जो fuel की prices को control किया हुआ है. They want that to increase so that Pakistan can have earn more money. And on the other side, what good thing that I have been reading into recently is that China has started to reopen its borders,
right.
For COVID closures pe. China is crude oil's biggest importer in the world.
Right.
So the imbalance created recently has been because of their closures, right, as well as the Russian-Ukraine war.
Right.
So them opening their borders will change the dynamics of how the crude oil market will work, which will decrease the value of crude, जो पाकिस्तान के लिए बेहतर होगा, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान को थोड़ा सा बफर्स के मिल जाएंगे, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपनी जो लेवी रखी हुई है वो हायर कॉस्ट पे ऊपर रखी हुई है.
I want to get into that later on in the conversation, but let's get into Master Oil and its establishment.
Okay.
Undoubtedly a leader in the industry, but what was the concept behind its establishment?
Early in the day, my grandfather, he started this company in the 1960s. He was, at that point, there was a very few players in the market, and mostly it was it's a few international companies who wanted to come into Pakistan, but they did not have any inroads or any know-how of how the Pakistani market would work. So they started to reach out to the different businessmen at that point. So one of them reached out to my grandfather as well, that why don't you invest in an oil manufacturing facility and make the products for us. Right. So that's how it started. That we made a full-fledged lubricant manufacturing plant in Karachi, which was one of the few at that point, because there was not a whole lot of manufacturing going on.
Right.
So he started off as a toll manufacturing.
This is late 60s now, right?
This is early 60s.
Early 60s.
Because late 60s में तो Master Oil came into being.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
So उस time पे ये हुआ कि we started to manufacture for other brands, but then my grandfather was very quick to realize that if we don't bring our own brand in right now, a few years down the road, all these MNCs will come in with their own facilities and we'll end up with nothing. So he started in the mid 1964-65. He created his own brand, which is Master Oil, and at that point we went into the market with a very extensive and a robust distribution network because it was the new thing.
Yeah.
You know, it was local production बहुत ज़्यादा था नहीं. There weren't any Pakistan Burma Shell, if you remember, PBS होता था एक ज़माने में.
Yeah.
So that was how Shell was there at that point. So we made inroads into the market. We still are working with those people who have been associated with us since then. So a very strong network that was there,
Right.
a huge retail network.
Right.
This is one of the reasons that still we've been able to stand where we are, considering all the turmoils that have been going on and all the issues that the country has faced, as well as the international supply chain disruptions that have been going on. But we've been there because of the fact that our market reach has been very good, alhamdulillah.
You know, I'm just curious. You just said a word disruption, and I think now more than ever, there's never been a more disruptive time.
Absolutely.
Especially to be in business.
Yep.
If you go back to the 60s, I'd imagine there'd be less disruption, and now you've taken over at a point where disruption hai.
Absolutely.
So how do you handle that pressure-wise, personally, and who do you go to sort of, Sune, kya ye kya ho raha hai? Mujhe kya karna chahiye? What is your path?
Achha, recently, the best thing that happened to us was my father, when he joined in, when he took over from my grandfather, he was the one which faced the brunt of the most turmoil eras. Wars bhi aaye, बीच में आपके regime change हुए, military regime, civil government. तो वो चीज़ वो है. हमारा जो जब when I came in, जो हम लोगों का hurdle आया, वो I think bigger है, क्योंकि COVID closures never seen before.
No.
We've never had to shut down a plant operations even for a half a day since the recent times. We've never had to since the first day the company started in the 60s. We've never had to. हमको समझ ही नहीं आया कि how to deal with this.
Wow.
कि आज plant will be closed. So a plant closure is a loss of a lot of money.
Right. Right.
I mean, I will not quote the figures here, but it's a lot of money that goes by in just a single day of plant closure. So we've been there always. My father was the mentor that we had because he was a very seasoned professional in this, and we've grown up working with him. So this is like adding. That's why 15 years of mine, and then his years. So it adds up for us that we've been trained. How he managed all these things. These scenarios, modern problems, modern solutions, legacies, like sometimes a lot of legacy solutions will not work. So what we've been doing, we've taken a hit on the outputs, we've taken a hit on the volumes, but we have gone from the legacy style of approach to a more guerrilla style marketing and sales strategies, so that we are not kicked out of the market, because a lot of players have.
Well, I just want to quickly, we'll go to a quick break. We'll come back and we'll start off from this guerrilla type strategy, which is allowed for you to still sustain in the current market. This is Encounter. Joining us this morning, for those of you that have just joined us, CEO, Managing Director, Master Oil, Janab Tabish Javed Saab joins us. Just before we left off, when you were talking about how you have a guerrilla style approach. What does that mean?
Guerrilla style approach means that since ever, because we are a manufacturing facility, so we had been very structured. It was like a single point strategy which was being translated throughout the country. It did not vary as per the locale, as per the region, as per the consumer, so now what we've seen that was not working as well as it has been for the last 50 some years, because of the market dynamics have changed.
Right.
The consumer perspectives have changed, especially the last 2-3 years. It has changed dramatically because price sensitivities have kicked in, and availabilities have kicked in. You will be amazed to see that to hear that a lot of people, they are switching to lower quality products, knowing that they are lower quality products, but just because they are cheaper. So they are willing to put their money in. We've invested so much into the R&D part of things. and into the output part of the thing, so that we do not compromise on anything, because we are export ready as well. We are sending our products abroad also, so we have to be very much on our toes on that aspect. So the market is changing locally. The biggest market that has changed recently is the transportation sector, which is the biggest sector, consumer sector for us, because first of all, the floods, they destroyed everything in the last 6 months. Tractor purchases went down, transporters went down, fuel prices doubled, electricity prices doubled, so their structure went down as well. So that created a huge problem. So what we did, or what we are doing right now, instead of having a very structured and a very straightforward strategy of bringing on products, we've segmented it into user-wise, that okay, what works for you? That we'll try to do an individual solution for you. For example, if your affordability might be different from the affordability of the other transporter.
Same.
So we are trying to do a mix and match of doing, from a consumer perspective, that what will work for you. For some, value additions matter, for some prices matter, for some marketing tools matter. So it's like a person to person, or a distribution to distribution, an area to area basis even. Southern Punjab approach बहुत different है from Suba Sarad and from Azad Kashmir, and so we've had to, it's a bigger task, because we were not because a manufacturing entity, and we have based ourselves on our distribution centers to be the sales channels. Now the new thing for us is that we have to enter those same markets with very different sales and marketing strategies, which we have never had to do, because manufacturing entities थे, हम लोग broader perspective पे थे, ad campaigns and field campaigns and all those things, and all the sales work was relevant to the distribution centers only. So we've taken that upon ourselves also. So थोड़ा सा changes है, इसलिए गोरेला था मेरा मतलब यही था कि now I'm like it's very very pinpointed and it's very targeted to the consumer.
But again, my previous question though, so in the midst of all of this pressure, how do you handle it personally? How do you, I don't know, what do you do? Or if you do you do anything at all?
As you know that I've for my own sanity, I have things that I do on the side also. I have been involved personally as a stress buster. I do music. I have done TV productions. We do a lot of sporting events, cricket. We've been associated with cricket for a long time now. That's a marketing collateral to hai, but that is a stress buster for us also.
Nice.
It takes us off, the daily nitty-gritties and the daily issues of things. So I mean, hamesha to my father used to be the one that we would go into his office and sit and see, bhai ab kya kare, and then he would have his insights on how to tackle this. I mean, सबसे चीज़ बिजनेस के अंदर, पाकिस्तान में स्पेशली, अगर आपके पास पेशेंस नहीं है ना, तो फिर आप सस्टेन नहीं कर सकते इस मार्केट में. यू नीड टू बी पेशेंट, यू नीड टू होल्ड ऑन टू दैट प्रेशर. आपको प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा आता है एक पॉइंट पे. जाहिर है कि यू आर अगर हम लास्ट 2 या 3 साल की बात करें, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द क्लोजर्स टू द फ्लड्स टू LCs not opening, from dollar not available in the market, from imports not happening, from all those things. The amount, अगर मैं मनी कैलकुलेशन, मनी लॉस का स्ट्रेस लेना शुरू करूँ तो भाई मैं तो यहाँ ड्रिप लगा के अस्पताल में होऊंगा किसी जगह पे. So you have to sustain those pressures mentally. आपको it's very difficult, especially when you are the top man of a company, where you are responsible for the well-being of the company as well as all the people who are involved in that system. Then we never wanted to get rid of anybody. I did not want to lay off anybody, because I know that the problems that we are facing on a bigger scale, they will face down on their own personal levels also. So I wouldn't want, I cannot leave them in the middle of this chaos. So we've held on to each and every person that we've had, and trying to manage and survive and sail through this. It's not that bad, I will say. It's not the end of the world right now. It's not the end of the world right now, but it's the kind of a scenario that not me, even the company hasn't seen in the last since its existence. And even not for us, even because we meet with all the other multinationals as well, and we regular meet. I mean, they are awestruck about the fact कि हम क्या करें.
Wow.
They have international think tanks sitting. They have boards of strategists sitting, all those things. When they are in a position right now कि यार कि क्या करें, तो मैं हूँ. I talk to myself now because my father passed a few years ago.
Right.
So now it's me that I talk to myself, and this is how he would have dealt with this. So we've kind of been. Then my brother, he's there. Then both my brothers are with us.
Right.
So we sit, we talk, we go through all these things, and then
nice.
we kind of at times ऐसा होता है कि हम कहते हैं यार let's take our minds off, let's do something creative, get the mind juices flowing.
Yeah.
So I've done songs. I mean, for myself. I mean, I'm not a commercial musician, but I've done songs for my own sake. And I did a song for PSL, which you know already because you were in it also.
Yes.
So I did that song for Quetta Gladiators a few years ago, and then I did my own singles as well. So that's how I relieve myself. I do a lot of jamming. I'm shooting a film right now.
You are?
Yeah, I'm shooting a film right now.
As a producer?
As a producer.
क्या बात है?
Direction आती नहीं है, और as an executive producer because on floor production भी नहीं आती है.
Yeah.
So I've been a part of it, so that वो एक different experience है.
So from one risky business to another. But you're not risk averse. You love taking risks.
I'm not risk averse, but it's the देखो हमने ये सीखा है ना कि आप जब तक आपकी गाड़ी ठुकेगी नहीं, आप सीखोगे नहीं चलाने. It's like जब तक आपका पैसा डूबेगा नहीं, आपको आएगा नहीं. ठीक है, तो उसी तरह है कि हमने कहा कि let's get into things. We have the safer things also.
Yeah.
ठीक है, जहाँ पर we know कि जहाँ पर जहाँ रिस्क नहीं है, लेकिन जब आप वो चीज़ें होती हैं, then you have room to take risks for your own curiosity, I would say. Yeah, how does this work? I mean, how do filmmaking में क्या है, TV productions में क्या है, and events किस तरह होते हैं, क्या होता है, what are the insides of this? I mean, I've been associated, Master Oil was associated with PSL for such a long time that I am aware of the insides of how that event works, how किस तरह कौन सी चीज़ किसके क्या issues हैं, किस तरह क्या चीज़ चल रही है, everything. So it keeps us off this in a whole. It takes the stress of all these issues.
Welcome back to The Encounter with me and my special guest, CEO, Managing Director, Master Oil, Janab Tabish, Javed. Just before we sort of left the conversation of your stress busters, and I know music has been a part of your life for a very long time. But when you come back to the business after you've sort of got those creative juices running and a little more room to move and breathe, how do you, as Master Oil, then maintain and sustain quality of your products in this environment where everyone is looking for cheaper, but yet wanting to compromise on quality? So how do you maintain that?
See, over the years, since ever, our strategy has been that to keep our personal operating expenses down, so that we can pass the price tag benefit to the consumers.
Right.
So what we've done, that we've chosen to invest in the best raw materials that are available. Best raw material, how do we rate the best raw material? In our industry, there are a few, namely additive manufacturing companies who make our raw material. We go with the ones which are OEM approved from all the international automobile manufacturers. They've gone through rigorous testing, bench trials, field trials of different environments, of different user experiences. So they've done a lot of hard work for us. So what they do, like when we bring in those products in, they help us in doing our own field trials and testing.
Right.
They are on the expensive side of the market,
right,
but they ensure the output and the performance of the product. So that our main goal has always been that we need to be optimum for your usage, and if you are using our product, you would not feel any difference from using any other international brand or any multinational brand in Pakistan. So we've kept ourselves on the same level as them. We've never given in to the price sensitivities. Product wise, how we've done, we've cut down our marketing expenses, HR expenses, selling expenses, you know, administrative expenses. हमने अपने operations में control किए costs so that we can invest into these products as well and then pass on the price benefit also. क्योंकि companies में क्योंकि बहुत capital intensive industry है ये, so it's very easy to have a huge operational cost setup. Like the multinationals और जो बड़े आपके firms हैं उनके huge operational setups हैं, तो उनको और उनके फिर इसीलिए उस वजह से उनका price levels भी बहुत ऊपर हैं. So they are taking a dent right now because of the fact that their prices are now way too high for the consumer. That's why a lot of consumer has shifted to us. But on the other hand, the consumer which was ours, he's shifted further down to the ones who were cheaper. So in the cheaper sense, that अगर आप cheaper sense में बहुत tricky चीज़ है. Specifications, our product specifications are standard, जो international पूरी दुनिया follow करती है. लेकिन output पे बात नहीं होती. टेस्टिंग यानी आपकी जो टेस्ट पेपर पे जो लैब के रिजल्ट्स हैं वो तो आप ले आते हो फ्रॉम इवन द मोस्ट सब स्टैंडर्ड प्रोडक्ट्स एज वेल
कि भाई ये काम करता है, ये देखो ये इसकी स्पेसिफिकेशंस हैं, ये मीट करता है, ये हर चीज़ करता है, ये आपकी जो ओगरा की गाइडलाइंस हैं उसको भी मैच करता है और जो इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स के जो स्पेक्स हैं उसको भी मैच करता है और ये सब कुछ सही रहेगा. लेकिन उसकी जब यूजेज पे आते हैं, जिस तरह आप अपनी गाड़ी में जब ऑयल डालते हैं तो आपको कहता है 5000 किलोमीटर, बिल्कुल
ठीक है. वो 5000 किलोमीटर जो है वो एक बहुत रिगरस टेस्ट से और पूरा का पूरा एक एवरेज आउट किया जाता है डिफरेंट इन्वायरमेंट्स में. आप अपनी गाड़ी जो है वो सिब्बी में चला रहे हैं 50 डिग्री में, आप अपनी गाड़ी जो है वो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में चला रहे हैं -10 डिग्री पे, आप चला रहे हैं फ्लैट प्लेटो पे, आप चला रहे हैं ऑन अ वेरी रगेड माउंटेनस इन्वायरमेंट, आप डेजर्ट में चला रहे हैं तरपारकर में. सो ये इस हर चीज़ के ऊपर पूरा एक रिगरस टेस्टिंग करके वो एक बनाई जाती है विच वी डू ऑल्सो. सो उस तक पहुंचने के लिए द प्रोडक्ट की जो R&D है, जो फील्ड ट्रायल्स हैं, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग अब उसको कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ करना शुरू कर दिया है बिकॉज ऑफ कि वो आपको चीपर प्राइस टैग पे आ रहा है. तो हम we've been there, we've been trying to still tell the people कि भाई ये छोटा सा पीरियड एक है, इट्स अ फेज, दिस हैज टू एंड. पाकिस्तान they will not, the international countries also will not let go of Pakistan. Pakistan is a very important strategic
उसे मेरे को दोस्त ने यही बात कर रहे थे कि ऐसा नहीं है कि
इस तरह नहीं है. ये एक अभी तो ये वो क्रिएटेड भी है थोड़ी सी आई थिंक, क्योंकि वो होता है ना यार कि हम तो डूब रहे हैं, हमें कौन बचाने आएगा. वो ये वाली चीज़ है कि जब वो डूब रहा होता है तो उसके हाथ ज़्यादा हिल रहे होते हैं. तो वो वाला इन्वायरमेंट है कि वो अभी उनको लोग आएंगे टू बेल देम आउट. इंटरनेशनल जो अभी ये प्लेजेस हुए हैं ये सब इसी वजह से हुए हैं कि पाकिस्तान को ये डिफ़ॉल्ट इसलिए होने देंगे क्योंकि पाकिस्तान की जियो पोजिशन इतनी स्ट्रेटेजिक है कि पाकिस्तान नहीं डिफ़ॉल्ट पे जाएगा. ये एक फ़ेज़ है. आप दूसरा बहुत सारे उसमें और फैक्टर्स हैं जो थोड़े से पॉलिटिकल इंस्टेबिलिटी पे भी जाते हैं और रिजीम चेंजेस पे भी जाते हैं और बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स, बट शॉर्ट लिव्ड हैं ये. सो हुएवर कैन सस्टेन एंड होल्ड दिस विल गो फर्दर इन द लॉन्ग रन. जो नहीं कर सकेगा दे विल सकम टू द प्रेशर एंड दे विल बी done and dusted. This is what I think, unfortunately.
But you mentioned political instability और ये सब कुछ हो रहा है. मैं जब देखता हूँ जो बिजनेस हजरात हैं जब वो बैठते हैं तो शिकायतें बहुत होती हैं. यार ये डॉलर तो ये हो गया, अब तो ये हो गया, अब तो वो हो गया. तो जब आप बैठते हैं अपने दोस्तों के साथ, so what is if I were an ant, what would I be hearing? What is your take on what is happening right now?
यार मेरा पर्सपेक्टिव जो है वो थोड़ा सा अलग इस तरह मैं कहूँगा कि एक तो वो अप्रोच होती है कि यार सब अच्छा है, वेरी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक
डिनायल है ना,
वो डिनायल है, सब अच्छा है यार, कोई मसला नहीं है, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. एक अप्रोच ये होती है. एक अप्रोच ये होती है कि अरे यार बड़ा घर खो गया है, दुनिया पाकिस्तान ख़त्म होने लगा है, और ये होने लगा है और ये होने लगा है, और पूरा बैंकरप्सी होने लगी है, और न्यूक्लियर एसेट आपका जो है वो नेशनल इंटेग्रिटी स्टेक पे आ गई है, सोशल कोहेजन स्टेक पे आ गई है, आपका न्यूक्लियर एसेट सेफ नहीं है. एक ही अप्रोच है. एक ही अप्रोच है कि भाई ठीक है, जो विच आई टेक के प्रॉब्लम्स जो हैं वो डिफरेंट एनवायरनमेंट के, हर दफ़ा आपके किसी ना किसी टाइम पे, किसी ना किसी एरा पे कोई ना कोई प्रॉब्लम आया है. आप अगर अपनी बोट की सेल चेंज नहीं कर सके अकॉर्डिंगली, देन आप ड्राइविंग सीट पे बैठे नहीं होने चाहिए ऑफ एनी कंट्री और एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. यू हैव टू लर्न टू अडाप्ट टू द एनवायरनमेंट. कंप्लेंट करना बहुत आसान है, डिनाइल में भी रहना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन टू ड्राइव थ्रू द रगेड टेरेन, टू फॉलो द पाथ के भाई के दिस, इफ आई एम सिटिंग हियर, मैं तो कह सकता हूँ बड़े आसानी से, अरे यार सब कुछ हो गया, ऑयल इंडस्ट्री तबाह हो गई है, मैं बंद करके मैं घर जा रहा हूँ. बहुत आसान है. या कुछ बुरा नहीं है, सब कुछ कोई मसला नहीं है, एवरीथिंग इज वो भी गलत है, क्योंकि ऐसा है नहीं. यू नीड टू क्रिएट द पाथ, द डायरेक्शन टू मूव थ्रू ऑल दीज टू हर्डल्स. आप अपनी सेल चेंज करेंगे. यू रफ वाटर्स आते हैं, जब रफ वाटर्स आते हैं, मर्चेंट नेवीज जाते हैं, जब सी में जाते हैं, तो ये तो नहीं होता अरे यार बहुत ज़्यादा सैलाब आ गया चलो शिप डुबा देते हैं. भाई यू मेक योर वे. अपनी स्ट्रेटेजिक डिसीजंस आपको लेने पड़ते हैं, आपको वो सब चीज़ें करनी पड़ती हैं. उसके हिसाब से यू हैव, अगर आप नहीं कर सकते तो देन यू आर बाउंड टू फेल, आई थिंक. क्योंकि कंप्लेंट करना, दूसरे पे ब्लेम करना तो बड़ा आसान है. आइदर जब मुझे कोई कोई करता है तो मैं उसको कहता हूँ यार कि जब आप जिस चीज़ को गलत कह रहे हो तो आप जाओ, गो बी अ पार्ट ऑफ इट, देन be the change. Don't wait for some messiah or some hero to come in from the sky to save you. Be that person. भाई go, जाओ पॉलिटिक्स में जाओ सिविल सर्विस में जाओ. अगर if you have that much in you and if it's affecting you so much that आप उसको अपने दिल पे ले गए हैं, then be a part of that. Be the part of the change if you want to be. ठीक है, डिफिकल्ट होगा, आपसे नहीं होगा, लेकिन आप उस ट्रैक में जाओगे तो आपके साथ पीछे जो है ना वो ट्रैक बनता जाता है. रेवोल्यूशंस डू नॉट हैपन इन अ ईयर. इवन इफ यू गो इनटू द हिस्ट्री ऑफ यूरोप और द हिस्ट्री ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका और हिस्ट्री ऑफ एनी फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कंट्री राइट नाउ, देयर हिस्ट्रीज हैव बीन मच मोर डार्कर देन आवर्स. यू नो, अगर आप यूरोपियन हिस्ट्री में जाएं तो यूरोपियन हिस्ट्री इज क्रेजी डार्क, यू नो, बट देव इवॉल्व बिकॉज द पीपल इवॉल्व्ड. उस टाइम भी लोग बैठ के कंप्लेन करते थे कि ये हो गया, वो हो गया. So you know, it's all about how you approach things and how you want to fix things.
Joining us this morning on the Encounter, CEO, Managing Director, Master Oil, Tabish, Javed. So you're talking about adjusting sale. मैं चाहूँगा कि जो नौजवान तबका है हमारा, जो इस वक्त थोड़ा अफसरदा भी है और ये भी कहते हैं कि वाकई नहीं हमारे पास, कहाँ जाएं, किधर क्या करें, वही कंप्लेन वाली बात. सो आप क्या नसीहत देंगे उनको कि भाई जो सेल को एडजस्ट करने वाली बात है, आई लाइक यू टू स्पीक टू देम हु आर गोइंग थ्रू दिस टफ टाइम राइट नाउ.
सी फॉर द न्यू जनरेशन राइट नाउ, दे आर सीइंग, आई थिंक, आई वुड से, आई मीन मैंने नहीं देखा है पूरा इतना खुद, बट आई थिंक दे आर सीइंग पाकिस्तान इन द वर्स्ट कंडीशन सो फार, यू नो. So इसलिए I wouldn't be surprised if you know, we have a major brain drain in Pakistan, which is happening, you know. But having said all that, ठीक है, I mean, I always tell the people that मैं, for being a business professional, what I always promote that Pakistan is a very growing country if you want to bring yourself into the small scale businesses. Pakistan में cottage industry अभी भी safe है. Bigger industry नहीं जाती, service industry अभी भी चलती है. ठीक है, you have to see if you want to stay in Pakistan, which I think everyone should, because Pakistan needs all of us to stay here. I was in America for 10 years. I came back because I mean at that point we were thinking of making Master Oil international and having all those things, because I was in America for such a long time. So but again at that point my aim was to come back here and see what in all what different किस segment में we can grow here. You know, grow the market of Pakistan. The made in Pakistan element needs to be there. India does it so well. You know, they brand themselves so well. हम अपने इन petty issues में रह गए हैं.
What is the difference? Because we often mention India and the way that they've done. What is the difference?
See, India is very good in having themselves heard and seen.
Okay.
This is what we don't do.
Okay.
I mean, when I was in America, I mean, when I was in university and when I was working there also,
Yeah.
the difference what I would see. जब एक इंडियन आता है ना, वो अपने साथ 10 इंडियंस की जगह बनाता है.
ठीक.
जहाँ एक पाकिस्तानी जाता है ना, वो जो वहाँ ऑलरेडी है ना, वो उनको भी बाहर करने की करता है. दिस इज द कोर डिफरेंस दैट आई सॉ. हम में ना वो नेशनल यूनिटी नहीं है. इंडिया में वो नेशनल यूनिटी है बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट इंडियन मीडिया हैज प्रोपोगेटेड अ लॉट ऑफ दैट. अगर आप इंडियन मीडिया शुरू से देखते आओ तो एक पैट्रियोटिज्म एंड रिलीजन, every movie, every drama, anything that goes on has those things in them, जिसने उन सब लोगों को एक तरह से रखा हुआ है एक साथ. ठीक है, they might have that north-south issue, but we have bigger issues.
Yeah.
You know, we have language issues as well, we have regional issues as well, we have all sorts of issues here. Because we are not, as people, not willing to give into those things. So मैं हमेशा यूथ को कहता हूँ कि यार कि हम खुद बैठ के जो ये बातें करते हैं, so if we don't change ourselves into discriminating on the fact कि यार के पाकिस्तानी आ गया है तो यार इसको तो काटो यहाँ से. No. This is how you will grow yourself, your family, your children. I mean I tell my children, हम अपने children को कोई रिलीजन के अंदर रिलीजन की कोर मैं सिखाता हूँ. मैं उसको रिलीजन की जो डिफरेंसेस हैं वो भी सिखाता हूँ, लेकिन उसको एज अ नेगेटिव नहीं सिखाता. यू नो, द डिफरेंस इन लैंग्वेज. हम उसको ना हर चीज़ को हम अपने आप को सही और दूसरे को गलत, सही गलत के अंदर जब तक हम फंसे रहेंगे, हम एज अ नेशन ग्रो नहीं करेंगे. हमारी सोशल इंटरैक्शंस जब तक उस तरह नहीं होंगे. हम यहाँ पर बहुत दफ़ा जब आप अपने रिलीजन की बात कर रहे हैं, जब आप इंटरफेथ पे आप बात करते हैं, यहाँ पर इंटरफेथ को लेके बहुत ज़्यादा टैबूज है. भाई आपको ये सब चीज़ें ख़त्म करनी पड़ेंगी अपने सिस्टम से. यू हैव टू हैव अ वेरी क्लियर पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ ग्रोथ. यू नीड टू बी ग्रोथ सेंट्रिक, यू नीड टू बी प्रोग्रेसिव. द यूथ आर प्रोग्रेसिव, दे आर ग्रोथ सेंट्रिक, बट वो बहुत जल्दी वो हो रहे हैं, जज्बाती बहुत ज़्यादा है. भाई अगेन इट विल कम डाउन टू सिट डाउन, रिलैक्स, यूज योर माइंड टू सी व्हाट विल वर्क हियर. यहाँ पर सक्सेस स्टोरीज भी हैं बहुत ज़्यादा. मैं आपको यहाँ पर यंग न्यू स्टूडेंट्स की और न्यू एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की सक्सेस स्टोरीज भी मौजूद हैं. बिकॉज व्हाट दे डिड, दे थॉट के भाई मैंने पढ़ तो सब लिया है, मुझे आता सब है, मैंने बुक्स भी पढ़ ली हैं, सब कुछ पढ़ लिया, बट पाकिस्तान वर्क्स द वे पाकिस्तान वर्क्स. सो आई नीड टू ब्रिंग माई सेल्फ इन टू हाउ द पाकिस्तानी इन्वायरमेंट वर्क्स. I need to learn in how to swim in the Pakistani waters. जिन्होंने वो कर लिया है वो कर रहे हैं अभी भी. बिजनेस इशूज अपनी जगह हैं, सब कुछ हैं, बट सस्टेनेबल रहें. पाकिस्तान में आपकी बहुत ज़्यादा पोटेंशियल है, ऐसी बात नहीं है. पाकिस्तान के अंदर अभी डिफ़िकल्ट टाइम्स हैं, टफ टाइम्स हैं, बट sometimes don't last forever.
What would you say has been or is your leadership sort of quality? How do you lead?
See, I like to delegate. ठीक है, I don't like to teach. I like to delegate. I like you to make mistakes and learn.
Okay.
You know, if I tell you how to do something, you are thinking, you'll start to think the way I am thinking. That's not absolutely right. I mean, I could be wrong also. I'm not a foolproof leader of a company. I will make 100 mistakes myself also. So but I tell everybody who I'm working with, whoever's in my team, that you go use your own perspectives, bring in the new thought of things, because the reason you are there, because if I could do it, if I would think that I could do better than you, then I don't need you.
Right.
The reason I have you in my team because I want you to give me that perspective,
right,
give me that insight. And don't think that if I am the head of a company, that I will not take that. I am very open to a lot of insights that people give me, even from the internees that we have. You know, I call them because they are the fresh. वो तो अभी यूनिवर्सिटी में है, वो बहुत ज़्यादा हेजिटेंट और रिलक्टेंट होते हैं कि यार कि मैं जब उनको बुला के पूछता हूँ यार कि बताओ इसके बारे में व्हाट डू यू थिंक डिड आई
सर आप जो कहें
हाँ आप जो कहें ये जो चीज़ है ना ये आपको थोड़ा सा स्टॉप करती है आपकी थिंकिंग को. मेरा हमेशा से ये रहा है कि भाई आप अपना जो माइंड है ना वो कहे मुझे कि मैं आपको मारूंगा नहीं भाई, मैं आपको निकालूंगा नहीं, मैं आपको कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. आई एम वेरी ओपन इन माई कॉन्वर्सेशन. ठीक है, आई एम वेरी ओपन इन टेकिंग सजेशंस फ्रॉम एवरीबडी. हम ऑयल कंपनी है, हम ऑयल कंपनी है, मेरे पास इतने बड़े बड़े स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट बैठे हैं, इतने सब कुछ बैठे हैं. जब भी मुझे कभी कोई इंसाइट लेना होता है मैं अपने राइडर्स को बुलाता हूँ जो डायरेक्ट यूज़र है उसका कि भाई ये जो है तुमको इसका क्या फीडबैक है. वो बहुत सारे ऐसे हैं जो कहते हैं कि नहीं सर हमारा सर टिप टॉप है, सर टिप टॉप है, सर एकदम बेहतरीन है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. और कुछ ऐसे हैं जो आते हैं कि सर नहीं इसमें ये प्रॉब्लम आया, उसमें वो प्रॉब्लम आया. बिकॉज दैट हेल्प्स अस इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग के जो एंड यूज़र है उसको क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं. ठीक है, सो आई हैव गिवन देम ऑल द लिबर्टी. यू नो, अब हम लोग अपनी जो हमारी जो मार्केटिंग टीम है दे आर डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ इवेंट्स राइट नाउ. अभी भी हमारा सुबह एक डिस्कशन हो रहा था कि भाई कि देयर आर लॉट ऑफ मिस्टेक्स हैपनिंग. मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं भाई, मिस्टेक्स को रियलाइज करो कि मिस्टेक्स हो रहे हैं और उसको करेक्ट करो, ख़त्म हो गई बात. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट यू टू डू बिकॉज यू विल लर्न नेवर टू डू देम अगेन. तो इसलिए द पॉइंट इज टू एक्सेप्ट व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, to know what we're doing and then go on with that.
We are just about at the end of the encounters. Very quickly, the Master Oil University Champions League. Can you give us a little brief about that?
See, we've always been I was personally always interested in having sports activities for schools and universities because whenever I've interacted with them उनको यही होता है कि सर हमें स्पॉन्सर्स नहीं मिलते, हमको सपोर्ट नहीं मिलती, हमको ये नहीं होता, यूनिवर्सिटी के फंड्स बहुत लिमिटेड होते हैं, ऑल दोज थिंग्स. एंड सो व्हाट आई थॉट दैट लेट्स क्रिएट अ यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल क्रिकेट इवेंट एंड माई एम राइट नाउ इज टू मेक इट Karachi's biggest. We've started this our first season, which is underway right now. We have 8 teams playing, and I want to grow it to make it Karachi's biggest, so that all the universities are part of it. And to take that further, that I would be including the women's teams also in it, and then एक chain हमने एक बनाया हुआ है जिसमें क्रिकेट के साथ साथ वी विल, जब यूनिवर्सिटीज़ का पूरा एक नेटवर्क क्रिएट होगा, देन वी विल स्टार्ट थिंकिंग ऑफ हैविंग इंटर यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स, यू नो, हैविंग ऑल द गेम्स इन whichever games the teams play with.
We just need more sports. जाते सर कौन जीतेगा PSL?
PSL कौन जीतेगा? मैं जिनके साथ एसोसिएटेड हूँ, अगर मैं उनका नाम नहीं लूँगा ना तो उन्होंने मुझे ऑफिस में आने से मना कर देना है. So I would say that the best team will win.
Tabish, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Khalid. Thank you for having me over.
This has been The Encounter with CEO Managing Director Master Oil, Tabish Javed. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you for joining me all week this week. We'll catch you Monday morning bright and early. May your news be good news.